Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This motion, sir, is opposed by the Labour Party because the inevitable has happened now that these SOEs have been sold off. The SOEs have been sold off, and what has happened? Our electricity prices have started to go up at a rate which is extraordinary. I've just received bills from people who have told me that their Meridian power price has gone up by 15%. 15%. Their bill has gone up, and this is what the person has said to me when they wrote in. Attached is the advice I received from Meridian telling me to expect a 15% increase in my electricity bill at a property I own. A 15% increase. Meridian blames the lines companies for this increase. You're telling me that the lines companies have put his bill up by 15%, sir? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And all over the country right now, people are receiving bills of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15% increases in their bills. And this is what he goes on to say, sir. He'd tried to get in contact with Meridian, rung them up, written to them, still does not have an adequate explanation of why that power price has gone through the roof. And he says to me, it is of course impossible to work out from a typical power bill who is taking what cut as amongst the retailer, the lines company or Transpower. Obfuscation seems to be the standard practice in the power industry. We don't know what's going on because it suits the power industry to make sure that it stays that way, sir. And this in a country where John Key said that power price increases and the power price at the moment was okay. And Simon Bridges, our energy minister, said that actually power wasn't too expensive. Sir, for most New Zealanders, they have seen power prices increase in the last year by 4 times the rate of inflation. 4 times the rate of inflation. So while inflation has been going up at 1%, their power prices have been going up, sir, at a rate of at least 4%. And that's wrong. And that's wrong because we know right now that the electricity market that the government has sold Meridian into, the electricity market at the moment is oversupplied and has been oversupplied for the last 5 or 6 years and will continue to be oversupplied for electricity probably for the next 5 to 10 years. And that the demand has actually gone down. Now, free market principles would tell you in that sort of situation, prices come down. And the government says the market is working efficiently. Adam Smith, of course, would be very interested in this because apparently it does the different thing than what he actually proposed back in the 19th century or 18th century. Prices are going up despite the market being oversupplied and demand going down. Sir, this is absolutely wrong. And a number of companies are making a lot of money out there, sir, and one of those companies is the company we're talking about at the moment, who has just been sold off, and they're new private shareholders, and they're not mums and dads. They're not mums and dads. They're the corporates. They're the 2% of the population that can afford to buy shares. They're the overseas companies that have bought into our industry so that the profits can be shipped off offshore and our current account deficit can get ever steadily worse. Those companies, sir, are going to be demanding more profit. And that's why people like this person that I've spoken to and has written to me has said that his power bill is going up by about 15%. Sir, that's why we oppose asset sales. That's why we oppose electricity price increases, and that's why, sir, we support this motion. This is a cynical government. This is a cynical government that took hold of Transpower. And let me tell you, sir, that the power bills that we're facing, this person who sent me this Meridian power bill, he's asking the question that's on everybody's lips. And if anybody is watching this right now and wants to send me their power bill, please send it to me with the story of the power increases in your household. I'd be happy to read those out and to talk about those and to take those to the government. But, sir, this person doesn't know what part of his bill is what. It's just a big blur. Well, let's take the power increase in Wellington alone, which is 7%. 7% if you're on contact. If you're on contact, 7%. Now, of that, 4% is supposed to come from the lines companies. The lines company in the Wellington area says, well, actually 2% was passed on by Transpower. And what's the story with Transpower? Transpower used to have a generated dividend, a profit, and that dividend was spent by the previous government on upgrading our grid, our electricity grid. This government, no. It says, no, you give me the dividend, you give this government the dividend because we need it to balance our books, and you charge the consumers for the upgrade of the grid. And that's exactly what's happened. So if you're wondering why your power bill is going up, why your Transpower prices are going up, that's the reason. 2% of that electricity price increase in the Wellington area is Transpower. 2% of the lines increases, and who knows where the other 3% came from, sir, because we have no idea, because the power bills at the moment will not spell that out. Now, the Electricity Authority, created in 2010, 4 years ago, finally woke up to the fact that there might be a problem with the electricity prices in New Zealand. Finally woke up. Mr. Brent Lathan, who's the chair of the Electricity Authority, said, after passing on a lot of information to the Minister of Energy to help them with combating our New Zealand power policy, said that he probably wouldn't work under a Labor government. Well, that's fine. But he has finally come to the realisation that they're going to have to look at this particular issue. And so yesterday, sir, I drafted a private member's bill to go into the ballot so that we will have our bills where the charges will be unbundled. So we'll have the generation charge and the wholesale charge, the Transpower charge, the retail charge, the lines company charges, etc. Each of those will be separated out, because we cannot have the situation we have at the moment where it's a complete blame game between all of those various parts of the electricity sector. And 2 hours after I put out my press release, the Electricity Authority put out their press release and said, we're going to look at the blame game. Use the same language. We're going to look at the blame game. We're going to look at the blame game, and we're going to try and distinguish between the various components of the electricity market. Sir, they need to do that because, like this government, they've looked the other way and relied on a market that is clearly broken, while power prices have continued to go up. Meridian's power price has gone up. Mighty River power price has gone up. Contact prices have gone up, and they're all blaming each other and blaming the lines companies. But I can tell you one thing about one lines company called Vector, who dropped their prices by 8.4% at the instructions of the Commerce Commission, I might add, but nevertheless dropped it by 8.4%. And guess how much of that 8.4% flowed through to the customer? Zero. Zero. The power companies pocketed that saving. Instead of passing it on, they pocketed that saving to increase their profits. Sir, this legislation where we've split off these power companies will add to the power prices of New Zealanders. They'll hit those people who can least afford to pay. We'll see more disconnections, a record number of disconnections at any time in the past, in the third quarter of last year. Of any time in the past, people had their power disconnected, sir, and that's just because of this government.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2. A point of order, Sanati Lolo Taylor.
I'm sorry, I missed the counting. You went so fast. We wanted to vote in that particular bill.
Well, sorry. Yeah. Look, I've already declared the result, and it's up. Order, please. I've already declared the result that it was passed, and members must be observant and listen to the proceedings of the House, and I can't allow. I've already put the vote. There was no one opposed it, no one asked for a party vote, and so my ruling stands.
Point of order, sir.
A point of order, SNRD Lolo Taylor.
I totally accept the fact that perhaps I wasn't alert at the time when you were calling for the voting, and I apologise for that. However, in your guidance, can I please seek leave of the House to reconsider giving the opportunity for New Zealand First to put forward its vote?
I'm just seeking some advice on this matter. The member can seek leave to have her vote, to have her party's vote recorded. Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? There is no objection. So, New Zealand First vote is.
There are 7 votes opposed.
7 votes opposed. So we're going to have a party vote now, because we're calling for a party vote. So I ask the clerk to conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes in favour.
Green Party.
14 votes in favour.
New Zealand First.
7 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana. ACT New
1
Zealand.
vote in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Brendan Horan.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 112, the noes are 7. The motion is agreed to. Call on Government Order of the Day number 2.
Student Loan Scheme Amendment.